Dr. Jim Taylor, and welcome to Prime Family Alert. This segment of Prime Family Alert focuses on fear of failure revisited. In my very first segment of Prime Family Alert, I discussed the sad epidemic of fear of failure that is rampant in America today. The reason I want to revisit fear of failure is because I've discovered a new wrinkle to the fear of failure phenomenon that brings greater clarity to the problems that children face in our increasingly achievement-oriented culture. At the heart of fear of failure is the belief held by children that if they fail in school, sports, the performing arts, or socially, then bad things will happen. For example, they will disappoint their parents, be ostracized by their peer group, or experience embarrassment or shame, or even worse, feel worthless. Fear of failure typically emerges from messages that children's parents convey that being loved depends on their being successful, or that their parents' love will be withdrawn if they fail. Now, admittedly, this is rarely a message that parents send intentionally, but it is one that children frequently receive. Children with fear of failure perceive failure to be a ravenous beast that pursues them relentlessly, and they only experience a small amount of relief when they succeed, and that feeling doesn't last long. As a result, avoiding failure becomes their singular motivation and goal in life. Despite this profound fear of failure, so many of the children I've worked with did nonetheless fail frequently and often monumentally, either by giving up easily or doing something that ensured failure, even when success was highly likely. I asked myself, why would children who fear success so much actually do things that guaranteed failure? I came to see that most children don't have a fear of failure, but rather they have a fear of total failure. I define total failure as giving it their all and not achieving their goal. That is, giving it everything they've got and not attaining the standard they wanted to achieve. When I ask children if total failure is a good or bad thing, the response is unanimous and stark. It is the worst thing. So, what is so bad about total failure? In a way, it's the end of the road toward that goal. If children give everything they have and don't achieve the goal, they have to admit that they simply weren't good enough and there's nothing more they can do because they've already given it everything they've got. This realization is, for most children, truly untenable. Better for children to fail with an excuse, in psychology it's called self-sabotage or self-defeating behavior, than experience total failure, because it allows them to avoid the consequences of total failure and always leaves open the possibility of success in the future. Yet, I would argue that total failure is a good, though of course not ideal goal, because even though children may not reach their goal, they did everything they could to achieve it, and no one can ask more of them than their best effort. To put this in perspective, I define total success as children giving it everything they've got and achieving their goal. Clearly a good thing. But total success and total failure have one thing in common: giving it everything they've got. So the real goal for children is to experience total something, whether success or failure, because what more can they do? At the end of the day, will children be disappointed in not having achieved their goal? Of course, but there will also be indelible satisfaction in being able to look back and having seen that they gave their best effort and fully realized the ability they had. Also, the simple reality is that children don't give everything they've got. They will have little chance of ever reaching their goals or achieving total success. One of the most destructive aspects of fear of total failure is that children are afraid to take risks. By definition, the more risks that children take, the greater likelihood of failure. Yet, risk is also essential for achieving total success. Risk means that children are getting out of their comfort zones, pushing themselves a bit beyond what they thought was possible, and most basically, risking the possibility of failure. Without risk, then there can be little growth or progress. Children will be perpetually stuck in one place, and they can never fully realize total success. Unfortunately, another paradox about fear of total failure is that the only way to be truly successful is to take risks. So children with a fear of total failure play it safe and avoid failure. But they also experience the frustration and unfulfilled promise and miss the exhilaration of having left it all out on the field. There are two cardinal rules that I try to live my life by and teach my clients and, in fact, my own children. Rule number one is that I don't want any child to ask at the end of a semester, season, year, career, or life, I wonder what could have been. That may be the saddest question anyone can pose to themselves, because there are no redos in life. There are no second chances. Rule number two is that one emotion I don't want any child to experience is regret. Regret is defined as to feel sorry or disappointed about something that one wishes could be different, a sense of loss or longing for something done and gone. In other words, Darn it, I wish I'd tried harder. In the end, you want your children to make a statement, I gave it everything I had, and experience two emotions, pride and fulfillment in having given it their all. To achieve their life's goals, your children must be willing to embrace the following statement. To achieve total success, I must be willing to accept total failure. By accepting total failure, they will have nothing to fear from failure, and as a result are liberated to pursue success with unrestrained gusto. I'm Dr. Jim Taylor for Prime Family Alert.